So they put the alternate start-finish line near pit in. So you finish your lap, and then you could kind of get out of the way. So if you watch right here, Kaz Grala in this 26 right there. So he's now at speed and on his time qualifying run.
Kaz, see their 5 top 10 finishes this season.
Yeah, finished 5th here last year. So this is a driver that I think loves the road courses. I think he sees it as an opportunity.
He was 8th fastest overall in practice, running a 72.61 for Sam Hunt Racing. We'll see how he does on this lap.
I think the prediction is going to be very difficult because of what Parker said. A lot of traffic, you know, a lot of dirty areas of the racetrack that drivers were cleaning off. So now as he exits the top of the S's, now it's all about, this is the hardest braking zone. So it's very flat. You're going to see right here, he's going to brake straight and then try to turn left, hit those curbs that we show everybody bouncing over.
And it looks like he's getting into a little bit of traffic in front of him, which could affect his lap.
Yeah, this is a bad spot too, because that arrow wash in the carousel can make a big difference. Nice carousel though. Tidy right around the bottom. Now this big wide exit. So everybody loves the wide exits. So I'm not a fan.
And that concludes his lap right there. So Grala goes 72.26, which is a little bit faster.
You see on the bottom right, Sam Mayer, that's not a mistake. We talked about multiple laps. He's going to run a 2nd lap.
And remember, we're comparing now to 5th, Kaz Grala. So that's why you see a number of those drivers in green.
And I like this idea because I think the tires get a little better with temperature, maybe 1 lap better. So if he can just improve right here, then he can not worry about going back out in the final 9 minutes.
Now that left front doesn't even touch through the middle of the carousel.
Yeah, right. Look at this. He's same thing. He's got a little green.
But he's losing it there.
Oh, can he get through the carousel?
Still going the wrong way, but how close is he going to be? 5th by 4/1,000th of a second.
So while I love tire grip going away for the race, I love tires that hold grip for qualifying because it allows drivers to go out there and continue to better each other's laps. I've done it. I've done what everybody needs to do. Happy for Jordan and the whole organization.
Trying to accumulate as many playoff points as they can to help them get through the stages. We see Sam Mayer back out on track. Mayer is currently 7th. Sammy Smith also out on track. Again, 40 seconds remaining in this group. As long as you take the start line, if you get to the start line before the clock expires, that lap will count. These guys on their laps currently.
Sam Mayer's trying to make that big improvement. I mean, Sammy Smith is trying to better his own lap with the anticipation of this guy behind him. Oh boy.
Almost spun out again.
That's where he spun out. You see the damage on the left rear from other wall contact.
How did he stay in the green though after that?
Stay in the gas. I guess you stay in the green. I don't know. That is unbelievable. Sammy Smith, big lap, jumps up to 2nd. And Mayer's 2nd. So track getting cleaner, drivers pushing it more. Sam Mayer is 2nd with, I'll call it as close to a wreck in the carousel as you can be.
He was sideways.
What a lap. And how about this? We talk about Kyle Busch. He's sitting there in 5th. Wow.
And that time that Parker Kligerman put down, it will be borderline whether that makes the top 5 or not. I have a feeling he'll have to pick a little speed up. Got this guy right here. He's going to be fast. Algar, I think, will be fast.
Is the track getting faster? Because we saw at the end of that first group, they started picking up the pace. Now we're starting to see Ty Gibbs goes fast. I think Alex Bowman's going to put a big lap up here.
If he can carry that speed off, he's going to be in great shape right here.
Doesn't look like he's going to lose much. And across the stripe, and that's a great lap for Austin Hill. 4th, Kim.
And a much better run than his first qualifying laps. That's because he was chattering the front so badly in 10 and 11 during his first run. The air pressures took too long to fire off with the cold tires during the first run, so that's why they came down and they sent him back out for what should be a lap that can get him into the next round.
And it is going to be probably the 2nd best we've seen today, if not the first. He has a chance to be as fast or faster than Allgaier.
Yeah, John Hunter, he has stayed on track, and he's tracking better this lap than he did the previous lap. Gibbs to the fastest, but that's not the point at the moment. What you were saying. So Nemechek, he did not get through that inner loop in the carousel very well. Riley Herbst, he's going to improve his time.
Now listen, Jason Ratcliffe has done this more than basically anyone in the Xfinity level, so he had a plan with Gibbs, and he might think there's a speed out there on the track where they weren't comfortable with their lap.
Well, and it also shows you, Steve, that thinking about the race today.
A 41 to a 50, the difference. Kligerman still on his lap. He's 0.6 of a second off of what Hemrick just posted.
So you were asking if the track was picking up, and I thought overall it was maybe a faster group, and it might be, but I do think, to answer your question, looking back now, the track might be finding some speed. I mean, Hemrick right there was just faster than his team car, Kyle Busch, in the first session, and the overall lap time in this 5.
Busch only 1 lap on his tires, but definitely not the pace that we are anticipating out of him as he gets ready to head up the S's.
No, I think Kaulig in general is really trying to evaluate this program. I mean, A.J. Allmendinger, I think, can make you look really good, and they could also cover up some weaknesses. I mean, he's so good at the road courses, and I think, this will be a great evaluation of a different driver in this 10 car.
And in some ways that can work against you, Steve. Like, you get accustomed to building your program around a driver, right? And why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you build a program around A.J. Allmendinger? But not everybody drives the same stuff.
Mayer a 0.5 second off of what Bowman has run.
There's only one way to learn, guys, and that's it. You got to attack, and you can't be afraid of making mistakes. Now, too many mistakes is too many, and it gets you in trouble. But right on the edge of grip is that's where the fun is. And this carousel.
This is a big lap. Could it be a new track record? 54. He is 1/1000th of a second away from the track record there with that 54.9.
Oh,
54.8.
Wow.
Came to the green pretty good, Jeff. I mean, he has almost a 10th right here heading into turn 7.
Yeah, and then he building on it, got off a 7, really not quite as well. See it losing a little bit. Turn 1, got to carry a lot of speed in here. Just can't overshoot it. Get the right sides right on that curve. Go to the throttle quick.
Well, let's remember that Gibbs made a lot of his time up in the carousel. So that tells me if you're Allgaier, you want to have some speed into the carousel.
Yeah,
lost it there.
He did, but he checked his speed up getting into turn 2 so that he could roll 3 and 4 better. That's where he lost it last time. That was the correction that he made.
He's going the right direction. We'll see how he does in the bus stop.
Great entry speed, gains time, but this is where the 19 excelled. Can he chase this carousel in a positive manner?
He was 0.2 of a second off entering it, and it's not going the right direction.
Man, that 19 is just so good through the carousel.
And so Allgaier with his 70.86, and Gibbs is the fastest. He has won the pole 7th time. He has won the pole in the Xfinity Series in just his 59th start. Remember, only 20 years old. Steve, you mentioned growing up in the spotlight. That's what we've seen out of Ty Gibbs, grandson to Coach Gibbs. And now he'll take a look at that data as well. Kim.
And he ends last week's NASCAR Xfinity Series race P1. He'll start this week's NASCAR Xfinity Series P1. Wow, how'd you do it?
Yeah, I feel like we've got a really fast C gets us Toyota Supra. Thank you to everybody at Jacobs Racing, my crew chief Jason Ratcliffe. Thank you to everybody at Toyota. So I think we're really fast. Just got to put it together in the race.
As you look at putting together the race, what are the things that stand out to you that you can improve on out on the racetrack?
Going from, back and forth with different cars, it definitely helps, but more seat time's really important, I think, for me right now. So this is good for me to get out here and do this, and thank you to he gets us and Toyota and Monster Energy, everybody over there. So I appreciate all them.
Ty Gibbs will lead the field to green in the NASCAR Xfinity Series as he gets ready for Cup Series practice and qualifying.
He was behind the wheel for practice and qualifying Xfinity Series. He'll be behind the wheel for Cup Series practice and qualifying. We take a look now at the starting grid for this afternoon's race, and it's Toyota, Chevrolet, Ford in 2 rows. Justin Allgaier and Cole Custer making up row 2.
You see right there, Sammy Smith, Riley Herbst. And then the guys that didn't make that final round, Austin Hill, John Hunter Nemechek, Parker Kligerman right there will be in row 7. That points battle will happen right away.
And did you notice those 2 rows? You had the top 2 in points for the season, and you had the 2 guys fighting for that last playoff spot lining up next to each other.
Sage Karam back there in row 11 had such a great run. Road America trying to duplicate that. Stephen Parsons in row 12. There's Jeb right there in row 13 next to Ryan Sieg.
Max McLaughlin and Brennan Poole in row 16, and then back to Kyle Sieg and Stanton Barrett rounding out the field of 38.
Hi, I'm Parker Kligerman. For more access like this from Pit Road, be sure to click and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel.